Okay, picture this. Kilian Jornet, the endurance legend. He's not just running mountains. He's inside, in this sealed room. It's humid, pushing almost 40 degrees Celsius, and he's on a stationary bike, just pouring sweat for an hour. Why? Why would anyone do that? Well, this is heat training. It's this cutting-edge method you're seeing now with top athletes. Think Tadej Pogacar, Ilia Topuria. So today we're doing a deep dive into why these elite performers are intentionally putting themselves through this kind of extreme heat.
Look, we've known for ages that athletic performance can seriously tank, maybe up to 20% when it gets hotter than that ideal sort of 3 to 10 degrees Celsius range. So the first and maybe most obvious benefit of heat training is, well, simply getting better at handling heat acclimatization.
Right, your body just learns to cope more efficiently. But how does that actually work? What's the mechanism there? How does the body get better?
Fundamentally, it gets way better at sweating, more efficient. It learns to use more of your skin surface for sweating, going from maybe 70% up to about 90%. That's for evaporative cooling.
Okay.
And this improved thermoregulation, basically your body's thermostat working better, it delays dehydration, and crucially, it lowers the risk of heat stroke. Hugely important in competition.
Makes sense.
And we saw this work, before the Tokyo Olympics, which were expected to be hot. Medalists like Nico Rodriguez and Jordi Samar, they used heat chambers specifically to prepare. And they performed incredibly well in those conditions.
Okay, so that's the acclimatization part. But you mentioned a kind of aha moment, something beyond just getting used to the heat, something about boosting natural EPO. That sounds significant.
Absolutely. This is where it gets really interesting from a physiological standpoint. What researchers found is that if you induce severe dehydration and then follow it with really rapid rehydration,
it temporarily expands your blood plasma volume significantly. This makes the blood a bit more dilute for a short time, and the body, well, it kind of misinterprets this. It thinks essentially, oh, I have less oxygen carrying capacity per unit of blood.
Like a false alarm.
Exactly, a false alarm. And this signal tricks the kidneys into telling the brain to release more erythropoietin EPO. But this is your body's own natural, totally legal EPO.
Right, endogenous EPO.
Precisely. And that EPO then stimulates the production of hemoglobin, which is the key protein in red blood cells carrying oxygen. More hemoglobin means better oxygen transport throughout the body.
And the result for the athlete.
The bottom line is a measurable boost in power and endurance. It's quite remarkable.
So it's not a direct lack of oxygen, but the body thinking there is triggered by that fluid shift. Does the body get used to this trick over time, or does it keep working? That's a great question. While the body definitely adapts to the heat itself, this specific mechanism related to plasma volume seems to remain effective, because that rapid rehydration after dehydration consistently creates that temporary dilution, that stimulus. The body's always trying to get back to balance,
Interesting. Okay, so we understand the why, these two really powerful benefits. Let's get practical. How do athletes actually do this? What does a heat training program look like? Let's get into the data.
The specifics are important. For real benefits, the data points towards needing about 3 to 5 sessions a week. Each session should be around an hour long, and you need to keep this up for about 5 weeks.
5 weeks, okay. 3 to 5 times a week.
And crucially, this really needs to be done indoors.
Why indoors specifically?
Because outside, even if it feels incredibly hot, say 35 Celsius, the wind can make a huge difference. Wind can actually strip away up to 70% of the heat your body is trying to build up, so you lose that controlled stress environment. Indoors, you can dial it in precisely.
Got it. Controlled conditions are key. So what methods are used? Is it just sitting in a hot room, or?
Well, there are different approaches. You have passive methods, like using saunas or hot baths after a regular workout. Those are used. But for elite athletes, you often see more active methods, things like dedicated climate chambers. Thermotron is one brand. Or you might see cyclists wearing basically painter suits, those impermeable suits to trap heat while training.
Right.
Or even setting up tents around a stationary bike setup and pumping in heat with heaters. The goal is always that controlled heat stress and dehydration.
Pushing the body like that, though, it sounds risky. Carl's term mentioned having to stop sessions sometimes. Safety must be a huge factor.
Oh, absolutely paramount. You cannot mess around with this. First, rehydration immediately after is non-negotiable. You need to drink back 150% of the fluid you lost.
150%. So if you lose 2 liters.
You drink 3 liters.
Wow.
And importantly, that water needs the right amount of sodium and electrolytes to help absorption.
Okay. What else?
Continuous monitoring is key, using sensors for both skin temperature and internal core temperature.
Real-time data.
Yes, but as Carl's Tur really stressed, nothing replaces actually watching the athlete closely. You have to look for signs like dizziness, extreme fatigue, or, and this is critical, if they stop sweating, that's a major danger sign, session stops immediately.
You need that experienced eye watching.
You absolutely do. You have to be right there.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What does all this mean for you listening, or maybe for how athletes will prepare in the future? We've seen heat training offers these two really potent benefits. Handling competitive heat better, sure, but also that natural legal boost in oxygen transport for more power.
Yeah, it really shows how we're pushing the boundaries of understanding human performance, doesn't it? And it makes you think, considering these kinds of, well, extreme methods athletes are using to optimize their bodies, how else might our understanding of physiology keep changing what peak performance even means in the years ahead?